Hey Guardians, I just want to let everyone know that I do have both a Twitch and a Twitter, and I'm very active on both. Feel free to come give me a follow on both, links in the description. Okay, Guardians, so I decided to bust out Precious Scars again with the goal of kind of creating a Titan build that essentially just gives me healing on top of healing on top of healing. And I pretty well accomplished that. Could probably use some more refinement, but whatever, I can't be bothered to put that much effort into PvP right now anyway. But the idea of this is, of course, Precious Scars will give you a burst of healing after a kill with any solar weapon. Now, you could make this work with pretty much any solar weapon, regardless of what it is. However, for this, I mostly used Igneous Hammer. I tried Mida Mini Tool, but honestly, SMGs on Titans without PKs just feel terrible. But you could use this with pretty much any solar weapon. So you'll see Igneous and Finite Impactor in this video, but you could use it with Polaris Lance, Time-Worn Wayfarer, Mida Mini Tool, so on and so forth. Any solar weapon will give you that burst of healing. However, the reason I decided to use Igneous Hammer and Finite Impactor is because they can both roll with Heal Clip. And with Heal Clip, when you get a kill and reload, you will get a burst of healing, and this will stack on top of the burst of healing you get from Precious Scars. And then on top of that, I have 2 pieces of the Iron Banner armor and 2 pieces of Bushido for even more healing. So with the Iron Banner armor with 2 pieces, primary weapon final blows will give you some of your health back, and then with the Bushido armor, swapping to a weapon and then getting a kill shortly after will give you healing as well. Now granted, that might be a little bit of overkill, okay, just to be clear. But between Heal Clip and Precious Scars and like the Iron Banner armor, 1 kill will pretty much give me all of my health back even if my shields are broken. So this is useful in PvP for obvious reasons. It allows you to stay in a fight longer, or it can allow you to push into your next fight much more aggressively because you're getting your health back. Then on top of all that, I have healing grenades for even more healing. I have Roaring Flames, Sol Invictus. I am running Burning Maul just because I honestly don't care much for Hammer of Soul. I found that this is just kind of the stronger super, at least in my experience. Outside of that, for fragments, Ember of Tempering, where solar weapon final blows will grant me and my allies increased health for a short duration. And while Ember of Tempering is active, my weapons have increased airborne effectiveness, and any solar weapon final blows I get will create a fire sprite, which then works with Ember of Mercy, where picking up a fire sprite gives me restoration for more healing. And then on top of that, Ember of Beams, just for some extra stats, and then Ember of Solace for increased time on Radiant and Restoration, again for the healing. Outside of that, Hammer Strike, for obvious reasons. Throwing Hammer is pretty well useless inside of PvP. Catapult Lift. I've been trying Rally Barricade out a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but in this instance, I was just using Rally Barricade just to see if I liked it, because I haven't really used it that much inside of PvP. Outside of that, you can see my stats. With this build, I could drop my health pretty substantially, but I just didn't feel like playing with my mods this time. Outside of that, you can see what I have on my armor. In this instance, where I typically go with handling mods, I opted for double reloaders so that I can proc Heal Clip faster. Then triple unflinching, a holster mod for Arius and double athletics, and then pretty typical stuff on the class item. Overall, I did have a lot of fun with this build. I found Igneous Hammer was probably the most effective choice here, although depending on how passively you're playing, Red Death would also work very well. Red Death might arguably even be better just because that weapon will just give you health on a kill straight up, no need to reload. However, with the really low handling on Red Death, I just don't care much for how it feels. So I decided to stick with Igneous and Finite Impactor. But again, any solar weapon you can make work with this. Ideally a solar weapon with heal clips. So Igneous, Finite Impactor, Mida Mini Tool, Time-Worn Wayfarer, the Summoner, so on and so forth. You get the idea. Now, in the gameplay, you'll see a little bit of Finite Impactor and then a longer segment with Igneous Hammer. Igneous was just easier to use, although Finite Impactor, since the buff, is a very, very good hand cannon now. Next time Iron Banner rolls around, I would highly recommend trying to get your hands on one. But Igneous is just easier, and so I opted to use Igneous. That's pretty much all that there is to it. Arius Neutralizer for obvious reasons. These spreadshot hand cannons are brain dead. And then just standard heavy weapon nonsense. I may spend some more time refining this build. I had a lot of fun with it. It's just that inside of the current sandbox, a build like this, which I would say is more ideally used for more aggressive play, just doesn't feel all that good with how Crucible plays right now, but it is still fun. I would highly recommend you give this a go. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into the gameplay now. As always, Guardians, if you enjoyed this video, then do me a favor, leave me a comment, hit that like button and that subscribe button with the bell icon, and consider using the hype function to get this video some extra attention. You get 3 free hypes per week and it helps the channel out a ton. For now, I will see you on the next video. Enjoy the gameplay.
Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. Strength in numbers, Guardian. Excellent.